Good morning, and happy Saturday from the farm. Welcome to another episode of Thinking Outside the Soil with your host, Seany Alfalfaseed. And thank you for being with us on this beautiful morning. I got the honor to feed out sprouts to the chickens this morning. I like doing weekend chores. And now I'm listening to the water drip in the aquaponics farm before I get to my day. I try to take Saturdays off, although it's really hard when you're running a business where animals don't have vacations. So I do my best to take time to do my self-care. I try to call it self-care Saturdays. I like to rhyme and make those little silly mnemonics because it helps me have success. And thinking about success, we've had a lot of success with sprouting here, feeding our chickens different combinations of seeds in order to get really, really good eggs. And so since I have been talking about the ABCDs of hydroponic fodder this week, I figured it's best to conclude with Hydroponic Sunflower Part 2. And I really was excited to do this episode today in some capacity because sunflower is one of my favorite flowers. My favorite flowers in order would be the tulip, the columbine, and then the sunflower. But most particularly, I love the wild sunflowers that grow here on the prairie. To me, one of the most amazing things to see on the prairie is how the sunflowers will track the sun from sunrise all the way to sunset throughout the day. You see this yellow wave that just transitions from facing east and then goes all the way to the west. One of Mother Nature's true examples of phototropism and what solar panels are mimicking. And I just am reminded that it's like one of the only American plants that we've talked about during the ABCDs of fodder, other than corn, that still commands the prairie like it once did. Yeah, as I say that, I find it slightly ironic that sunflower once commanded the prairie as a wild and domesticated plant, but now we've completely turned over the land to cultivate it in a way that has challenged the ways Mother Earth used to do things. We take one of Mother Earth's largest carbon sinks to grow feed for our combined livestock, an area that once played home to nature's executives, the bison. But real quick, if you like what you hear or want to hear anything else, please subscribe, follow the show, leave a review, let me know what it is you want to hear. So I mentioned in episode 17 that sunflower is called the Helianthus annuus. And that's the name that's derived from those Greek words that I love, helios for sun and anthos for flower. And in that episode, I called sunflower a flower of the sun that returns each year. And it might even just be a flower of the sun that returns each day based on how much it moves throughout the sunrise to sunset. We mostly use sunflower in the oil and forage industries. A lot of us are familiar with sunflower seeds. Perhaps we grew up eating them. I was an athlete, played soccer, so we would stand on the sidelines during practice and during games, and all of us would just sit there and spit the shells onto the ground, one after another after another. And I always thought that it was mostly, sunflower seeds were mostly out there for us to eat, and baseball players and us soccer players to eat and spit onto the ground. And the reality is that the black oil industry commands the world. And sunflower is traditionally used beyond the oilseed industry as a forage and fodder crop. So I want to differentiate out some of those things and start to segue towards how else sunflower can be used for hydroponic farmers or farmers that want to use hydroponic practices. We here call microgreens that we use for animals micro fodder. So sunflower for micro fodder has been shown to be good for pretty much all animals that we grow traditionally in livestock. Now, one thing to note is that the sunflowers do have shells, and there are animals that we raise that do not eat those shells. The ones that do are most recommended. So chickens and pigs will gobble down those shells, no problem. But if you're using ruminants, it's best to do it with a rotational method, much like Joel Salatin recommends, or that others out there do in different intensive models. So that birds, swine, ruminant rotation is ideal, because then the birds and the swines can come in behind and clean up the leftover shells that ruminants typically won't eat. Now, goats are a bit of an exception. Goats will chew on the seeds much longer. So if you are doing goats, just be mindful of how that may look for whatever it is that you're trying to raise them for. Hair, probably no big deal. Milk, be mindful of what it is you're getting when you're giving all of that fiber. And I think about those things and remind us of those things too, because we spend a lot of our time cleaning out the stuff in our seed that the chickens aren't going to eat in the first place. So one of the challenges of selling seed is who you get your seed from. It can be really dirty. It is going to affect how well your seed grows. So for example, some of the seed we get has a lot of debris and dirt in it, and so we spend a lot of time cleaning it and separating out some of that extra chaff so that we can give our chickens and or our customers who buy our seed the best quality that they can. But, we do spend time on certain seed. If we want to spend a lot of money, we can get cleaner seed. If we want to go cheap, we actually spend more money on the labor and time cleaning seed than if we just buy clean seed already. So what we generally will do when we're sourcing ours is look for organic seed, because those operators are generally adhering to a higher level of food safety and quality management. Not so much food safety, because we're not eating them at that stage, but quality management. And I didn't know it at the time that I would likely become a seedsman. And today I sell alfalfa, barley, cowpea, clover, and sunflower seeds. So by I mean we here at Blooming Health Farms. Other people offer cheaper seed, specifically corn. We do use corn. I like to buy a cracked corn, actually, from a local here. And they do a really good job. My first job out of college was cleaning and packaging seed for DuPont Pioneer. And it's funny, a lot of us go to university thinking that we're going to come out with this degree and get a really, really good job. And the truth is that we're being trained to possibly get that really good job, but we're not entitled to any position. And I had to have that rude wake-up calling myself, because that first job I got was a minimum wage position, doing that for 8 hours a day, sorting, cleaning, putting it in packages, sorting, cleaning, putting it on packages, lather, rinse, repeat, just like I would with my shampoo every day. So it was something that I got the opportunity to see how difficult it was for those researchers to get good, clean seed so that they could do what it is that they needed to do. When I originally applied for the position at DuPont, I thought I was applying for an internship position with the researchers. So the place I was working at is a research station in Evans, Colorado that does different variety trials, and they do different test plots all over the area. And I, with a molecular biology background, thought that I was a shoo-in. Well, I was mistaken. And it was during those times that I actually struggled significantly with overcoming and recovering my addictions that I had at the time. Something that I will eventually go into a little bit more out there for those listeners, but I want to be sure to keep it slightly on point for your morning show. So that is all that I do have for you today. As always, I'd love to hear or read your thoughts. If you've enjoyed it so far or want to hear anything more, please give a review, leave some stars, send me an email, Sean@thinkingoutsidethesoil.com. That's SEAN. Head on over there to get a copy of my book so you can learn how hydroponic fodder is helping farmers save water, improve livestock quality, and become better stewards. And don't forget, as a special gift to my listeners out there, there is a free sprouting video for those of you that are interested in getting in to do this for your critters. The video shows you how to do this on a small scale with barley. So please do follow the show, get the book, watch that video so you don't miss out on becoming part of the next agricultural revolution. Thank you for being with us on another episode. We'll see you next time. Take care and have a lovely day. Hey, before you go, check out the links below. Leave me a rating and review and follow the show. Don't forget to get yourself some of our Blooming Health blended sprouting mix. Our mix has been shown to get the best eggs and create the healthiest flocks. With feed costs going up, right now's the time to lock in a subscription so that you can get the best eggs without having to go to the grocery store or the feed store anymore. Check out the links below to get yourself some Blooming Health blended sprouting mix.